Spell your last name.
It's Bailey.
All right. Josh, where are you currently employed?
Servpro of Gaylord, Sheboygan.
And what's your role at Servpro?
As of about 2 years ago, I became an owner.
And you said about 2 years you've held that position.
Yep.
Before a single question is answered, this case is already walking a legal tightrope. A licensed restoration company, a flooded Michigan property, thousands of dollars in equipment, labor, and insurance billing, all approved by someone who looked like the homeowner, acted like the homeowner, but legally wasn't. What starts as routine emergency water mitigation slowly...
Can you describe to the court what it is that Servpro does? Just generally.
We are a restoration company, so we do water, fire, mold cleanup, any kind of cleaning, duct cleanings, carpet cleanings. So when it comes to water, so if someone has a water damage, pipe break, fridge line break, we come in, remediate the water, extract the water, set drying equipment if we need to, and spray antimicrobial to prevent any of further mold growth. And then, yeah, it's pretty much the gist of it.
Is Servpro a licensed general contractor in the state of Michigan?
Yes, they are.
And do you happen to know the license number for Servpro?
I do not offhand.
Okay. If you saw that number, would you recognize it? Because there's some document you can look at to refresh your recollection about the license number. Do you want to get that document or direct me to it?
Yes, if you could. Yes.
Which do you have it with you?
I do not.
Well, I'll tell you what I have is the license number is L295633. Does that sound like the license number for Servpro? Okay. I understand that you were contracted to do some work at 5570 Quarry Road in Afton, Michigan.
Yes, that's correct.
You familiar with that job?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how is it that you're familiar with it?
I was one of the first ones on site to meet my crew there when Krista first called us up.
Okay, and what was your role in that project?
Just to kind of oversee. So I was acting as the project manager at that time. So that pretty much states that I am in touch with Krista, kind of letting her know what's going on, the process, and in communication with the insurance company, letting them know what's going on, what we are finding, just kind of updates.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that first meeting you had at the property.
Yep. So it's been a minute, so I'll try and remember as much as possible. But when we first got on site, I do remember there wasn't any power on. I can't remember if they shut the power off due to the mechanicals down in the crawl space, basement, whatever we want to call it. And so we had to bring in we have a trailer, our generator mounted trailer or trailer mounted generator to run all of our equipment. So we had to bring that in. I met with Krista on site. We kind of walked through, kind of told her what we do and how we were going to do it. And then shortly later, my crew showed up and we began the work.
Okay. Did you speak to anyone else on that day other than Krista Wiley?
I did not.
Okay. And is Krista Wiley seated here today at
yes.
the defense table? Did you ever speak with Deborah Wiley at any point during this project?
I did not. No.
Did you ever see Deborah Wiley at the home at any point?
I did.
Okay. What needed to be done as part of this project?
So I believe it was some kind of submersible pump that had either failed or had gone out. So water had filled into the basement crawl space. So we needed to extract. There was some like rotten debris down there, wood that we needed to get out. So first off, we went in, extracted, got all the water out. I believe we had to set a submersible pump too to get the kind of the water down. And then once we get it down to about an inch, we can start extracting with our trucks that has an extraction machine on it. So we took the water down as far as we could, pulled out all the debris, all that kind of stuff, sprayed antimicrobial to prevent any kind of mold growth or anything like that. And then we would set our drying equipment.
Okay. And since we're talking about this now, does that type of work require any special certification or licensure?
It does, yes. So in this type of scenario, we had to dress up in PPE suits, so Tyvek suits, gloves, rubber boots, And we were wearing half-face respirators as well.
Okay, and I appreciate that answer. My question was really, do you get any type of certification or training to do that kind of work?
We do, yes. So we have a company come in every year to test fit all of our employees for the masks. We walk through with them as far as how to properly get into the PPE, fitment, gloves, boots, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Do you know what that certification or licensing is called? Is there a name for it?
I do not. I don't think there's a specific name for it. We just have a guy in Gaylord that is certified in it, and yeah, I don't know if there's a specific name.
Okay. So let's go back to your conversation with Crystal Wiley at your first visit to the property. Did she ever indicate to you that someone else needed to approve the proposed work?
Never once.
Okay. How did it appear to you in terms of who was responsible for getting this work done?
Krista, like I said, when I first met her there, we were talking about some animals that she had there, and it never occurred to me that someone else owned the property. She acted like it was hers, and it never once crossed my mind.
Okay. You mentioned some animals there. What kind of animals were at the property?
Just typical like farm animals, dogs. I think there was maybe some goats. Yeah, just your typical farm animals.
Okay. And did it appear to you that Krista Wiley was residing in that home?
Yes.
Okay. Do you now know that Krista Wiley is not the legal title owner of that property?
I do. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to show you what we've marked as Exhibit 2. Or like a copy of the exhibits as we go? Or?
Not as we go.
Okay.
I'll just keep, once it's admitted, then I'll receive the routine.
Okay, so I can approach it.
Yes.
Okay, actually, I took these out of order. I apologize. I marked the wrong one. I'll show you what I marked as proposed Exhibit 3. This one first. Taking a look at proposed Exhibit 3, Josh, you recognize that document?
I do. Yes.
Okay, what is that document?
It is our authorization to perform services and direction of payment, meaning our authorization, we get these signed before we start any kind of work on the property. That authorizes us to start the work, and the direction of payment means we work a lot with insurance companies one-on-one, so we can bill the insurance company directly and they can pay us directly.
Okay, and is this a standard contract? Or?
It is. Yep, we use this on every single job.
All right. How many pages is this document?
It is 2 pages.
Okay, is this a true and accurate copy of? Well, let me ask this first. I see Krista Wiley's name on this document. Was this something you presented to Krista Wiley on the day in question?
Yes.
Okay. And did you see her sign this document?
I did. Yes.
Okay. And is this a true and accurate copy of that document?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'll offer Exhibit 3 evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
3 is admitted.
Okay, so let's turn back to Exhibit 2, the proposed Exhibit 2. Do you recognize that document?
I do. Yep. This is the estimate that I had written.
Okay, so that's something that you prepared?
Yes. Yep.
And I mean, tell me, what do you mean by an estimate?
So we work with the insurance companies on this software called Xactimate. It's in a software that we write all of our estimates in to get to a number for our services. So simply plugging in line items for the work that we have performed, and it pretty much spits out a price for us. And yeah. So it's an estimate writing software.
And is this the estimate that was prepared for Crystal Wiley with regard to 5578 Quarry Road?
Yes.
Okay. Now, before I offer this, I see on some of the later pages, these are dated April 24, 2024. Is this updated as the project progresses?
Yep, yep. So we take, when we first get on site, we take what we call pre-photos. We go in, take photos of what the pre-loss condition looks like, just for insurance wise, so we can prove to them like, yes, they had water or they had some type of damage. And then throughout the process, as we're drying, we do take photos as well to show progress moving along. Or if we set a new specific piece of equipment, we take a photo of that. Insurance companies are super picky as far as us charging for certain equipment, like a heater per se. So we do have to take a photo of it to show them that we did in fact place it.
Okay, got it. I'll offer, this proposed exhibit 2, a true and accurate copy of the proposal as last amended.
Yes.
Okay, I'll offer plaintiff's exhibit number 2.
Any objection?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
2 is admitted.
Thank you. Was a copy of exhibit 2, whether as last amended or some earlier draft of it, ever provided to Krista Wiley?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Was that something that you sent to her?
Yep. Via email, I believe.
Show you what's marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 4. Can I approach Judge Lynn and ask him to comment? You recognize that document, Josh?
I do. Yes.
Okay, and what is that document?
It is a screenshot off of my phone on my email, showing Krista that you can see the PDF attached there. That is the copy of this estimate. Just letting her know that we are sitting around 3,700.
Okay, yeah, and before you get into
Yep,
what the document says, what's the date of this document?
April 24th, 2024.
Okay, this is a true and accurate copy of that email.
Yes.
All right, I'll offer plaintiff's exhibit 4.
Any objection?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
4 is admitted.
Thank you. Now, you were about to say, Josh, what were you trying to communicate to Krista with this email?
That we are currently at $3,700 as we sit. And I said, I attached the estimate for you so you can look it over. I sent it to Brittany, who is the Farm Bureau adjuster. If we have any, letting her know that if our equipment does go through the end of the week, we're going to be sitting around $4,500 to $5,000.
Okay, $5,000.
Yes.
All right, and it was fair to say this was still just a proposal.
Yes. Yep. I'm just giving her some kind of roundabout number to let her know.
Okay. At any point during this project, did Krista Wiley object or complain about the work being done by Servpro?
Never once.
Okay. Did she express any opinion about the work being done?
Yes, she did. She told us that she had no complaints and that we were doing a wonderful job, and never once heard that we did anything bad or anything outside of the guidelines.
Did the work that was being done require a residential builder's license?
I did not. No.
Okay. And why is that?
We were not building or replacing anything. We were just simply there to extract water, remove any kind of debris, set drying equipment, and dry the materials in the foundation.
Okay, so didn't require any structural modifications to the home. That's
Nope.
fair. All right,
Fair.
but did require some specialized equipment and processes in order for the Farm Bureau Insurance to pay. Is that
Yes.
true?
Yep, it's very true.
Okay, you already talked about the specialized equipment. I'll have you just take a look at Exhibit 2. There's some photographs in there.
Yep.
Do you want to just maybe walk through those photographs? They're numbered starting on page 8.
Yep.
And just point out the equipment that's being used in each of those photographs.
You want me to just go through like each photo kind of thing?
Yeah, if you can just
Okay.
identify the photographs by number
Yep.
and then what equipment is being depicted.
So on page 8, that is a picture of one of our air movers, aka a fan, down in the crawl space basement. And then let's see. So next picture, on page number 9, there are 2 more air movers and a dehumidifier. So a dehumidifier is obviously helps take out the humidity in the air, creates a better drying zone. And yeah. Page number 10, some more air movers. Page 11, 4 more air movers. Page number 12 is a hose from our extraction truck. Like I said earlier, we have extraction machines built into our vehicles that extract water. So that is a part of the hose where we extract water. Okay. Page 13, it appears that looks like the sump pump or some type of pump. I believe this was the cause of loss. So when we go into houses, we have to take a picture of said cause of loss for insurance purposes.
So that was a pump that was already on site?
Yes, yep, that was a pump that was already set on site. We did not set that.
So some sort of sump pump or
Yes.
something?
Yep, yep, correct.
What about page 14?
Actually, you know what, Paul?
Go ahead.
That's that actually looks like one of our pumps.
Oh,
I
okay.
apologize. Like I said before, we did end up having to set a pump. Now that I look at it better, it is one of our pumps. So we did, that's another tool that we use. Our truck mounts cannot suck a ton of water. So we bring in a submersible pump to get the water down to a certain level, like I said, about an inch. And then once that occurs, we bring in our other extraction tools.
Okay, and then what about page 14?
Page 14 is a picture of the front of the house.
Okay, page 15?
Page 15 is, it looks like a pre-photo. So this would have been taken before we had done any work. You can see the water level was pretty high in there, reaching up to the hot water heater and what looks like the furnace. Page 16 is pretty much a similar thing, showing the water level. You can see the floating debris, all that kind of stuff. Page 17 is another pre-mitigation of showing more materials that are floating, water down crawl space. Same with page 18, another pre-mitigation photo. Like I said, we have to take as many photos as we possibly can to prove to the insurance that there is water down there and that, in fact, that it does need to be pumped out.
Page 19 appears to be a
Yep, it's just a
diagram.
sketch of the basement crawl space.
What about page 20?
Page 20 is a picture of what looks like a dehumidifier, a fan, and partial of our Firebird. So at the time, there was not any power on. So in order for us to dry materials properly, we have to have a set temperature, which is right around about 65 degrees. So if it's cold down there, our dehumidifiers won't run properly. They'll just shut off. So we would have to stick in a heater, electric heater, to heat the space properly for our equipment to dry properly.
And this was on what date?
This was on April 23rd, 2024.
Okay, so not the warmest weather.
Not the warmest weather, no. Yeah.
And
Getting
next-
there, but not.
Right. Next page.
Next page is that Firebird. You can see the extension cord. So we had, at the time, we were still running our portable generator on site. So we had to run extension cords down into the crawl space, running to the heater. Yeah, that's just simply the heater down in the crawl space.
Okay, and why don't you just look through the remaining, I think there's maybe 3 or 4 photos. Is there anything else we should talk about in there? That we haven't
No,
already
just page 22 is more extension cords, power cables. The little box that you see kind of in the left corner there is what we call a power box. We can run a 220 cable off of our generator into this power box, and we can run more extension cables off of that. That way we're not running cables back and forth through the yard. There's just one cable that runs through the yard. Page 23 is another picture of our hose for extracting. Page 24 is a picture of our sump pump that we stuck down there to get the water down to, like I said, about an inch of water. And the last page is just another sketch.
Thanks, Josh. I'm going to show you what's marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 5.
Okay.
Can I approach, Judge?
Yes.
You recognize that document, Josh?
I do. Yep.
What is that document?
This document is our, what we call our drawing report.
Okay, and is this drawing report specific to a job?
Yes, it is.
And what job is that?
The Wiley job, Deborah Wiley.
Okay, is this a true and accurate copy of the drawing report for Deborah Wiley, Crystal Wiley's project?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay, I'll offer exhibit 5.
The objection,
No, thanks, Your Honor.
5 is admitted.
Okay. So what is this drawing log indicating, Josh?
So we have a software that we plug all of our equipment in, take these photos that you saw in the estimate. It pretty much tells us how long equipment's been there. We go off of drawing records. So as far as when we go back to the job and do equipment checks, we can stick in material readings, and it just shows the insurance that, yes, these materials are improving, we're drying, and it's showing that our drying equipment is actually working. This second page is just a page of, it simply shows how much equipment we set, how long we set it for, and the amount of hours that it ran for.
Okay, very good. Now I see that, well, let me ask you this first. Is this document submitted to the insurance company?
Yes, yep.
Okay. I see that the last date of service on page 5
Yep.
indicates April 30th. Looks like some photos were taken
Yes, yep,
or uploaded or something like
Yep.
that. Is that fair?
that is fair.
Okay. Was that the last date that work was performed on this project?
It was not.
Okay. And so why is it that exhibit 5 would only show through April 30th?
At that time, we had picked up all of our drying equipment down in the crawl space. So that meaning we removed all the equipment out of here. So this report would have ended on that day.
Okay. And so am I correct in saying that the equipment related to drying was removed on April 30th?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And so then therefore the drying report wouldn't have
Yes.
dates after that?
Yep.
Okay. So what services, if any, did ServPro provide to the Wileys after April 30th of 2024?
We had set a heater inside the house because the furnace was, I believe, like I said, it's been a little bit, but I believe the furnace was still not running at the time. I was speaking with Krista at the time, and she had animals inside the house, and we had talked about putting a heater inside the house to keep the house at a minimal temperature for the animals. So that piece was set after we left.
Okay. Was that just like an electric heater?
Yep, it was another electric heater, a little bit bigger than the one down the crawl space, but same concept as far as running. We had to run it off the generator and all that.
I mean, what's the capacity of this electric heater? And this isn't like a little bathroom heater.
No,
right?
it's big. It's about 4 feet tall, and it could heat probably a 1,600 square foot house.
Were the Wileys charged by ServPro for providing that heater?
They were not. They were only charged for the small heater down in the crawl space to the insurance.
Okay. And was Farm Bureau Insurance involved at all in providing that additional heat to the home after April 30th?
I do not believe so, no.
Okay. And so what was the timeline in terms of providing that heat to the home?
Like I said, it's been a minute, but I believe it was if it wasn't within a day, I would say within a couple of days. Chris and I were texting back and forth with the whole situation, and it was simply more to help her out in the scenario because I believe we were fighting with the insurance going back and forth as far as getting the furnace replaced, the pump replaced, and all that. So it's simply just to help her out.
Okay. And you say a couple days, you mean a couple days that what did you mean by that exactly?
As far as setting the heater inside the house, I can't remember how long it was since when we took all the equipment out of the crawl space until when we set the heater inside the house.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, it could be a week. It could be, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show you what's marked as plaintiff's proposed exhibit 6.
Yes.
Josh, you recognize that document?
I do. This
Okay, what is that
is a report that we pull. This is a program that our employees clock into. So they clock in, clock out of every single job. This is how we keep track of their hours on every single job. It's simply just a report showing their hours, their time, and what job they were on.
Okay, and what is exhibit 6 specifically? Is it related to a specific job?
Yes, it is related to the Wiley job.
All right, and is this true and accurate copy of the time entries in ServPro software for that job?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'll offer plaintiff's exhibit 6.
Any objection?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
6 is admitted.
What is the last time entry on exhibit 6?
May 30th, 2024.
Okay, and what service was provided on that date?
That day we were picking up our Firebird heater, electric heater inside the house.
Okay, had you had communications with anyone about coordinating a pickup of that heating unit?
I did, yes.
Okay, tell me about those conversations. Who were they with?
They were with Krista directly, whether it was between phone calls or text messages, just letting her know when we can pick it up. Just kind of working around her schedule as far as when she can meet us on site. There were some days that she wasn't able to meet us on site, so we were just kind of working around her schedule to get it.
All right, and was there some sort of issue when you picked up the unit and something was left behind or something?
Yeah, there was a thermostat. So these heaters, you can hook up a thermostat to set a certain temperature, 70, 80 degrees. So there was a thermostat that was left behind. Our guys are notorious for leaving it behind because it's a smaller unit. Yeah, there was an item left behind.
Okay, and was that before or after May 30th?
That was after.
Okay. And just to be clear, this house didn't have any heat other than that unit that you left behind for that period in May.
Correct.
Did you leave that unit behind just to extend the time in which you could file a construction lien on this home?
No.
Okay. Was there even any dispute in early May of 2024 about payment or non-payment?
No, no.
Okay. So it's fair to say then the last day of providing service to the home was May 30 of 2024.
I object, Your Honor, calling for the witness to make an argument or a legal conclusion from the testimony.
Yeah, I think that calls for the manner of that question would call for a legal conclusion that would be sustained. And he did testify factually about the time.
Thank you. Josh, were there any subcontractors involved?
There was not.
All right, I'm going to show you what I'm marking as plaintiff's exhibit, proposed exhibit number 7.
Yes.
Josh, you recognize that document?
I do.
Okay, and what is this document?
It is a sworn statement.
Is this your signature on page 2?
Yes, it is.
I'll offer plaintiff's exhibit number 7.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
7 submitted.
Okay. Josh, I think you already said this, but there were no subcontractors involved in this job working under ServPro?
Correct.
And is that what exhibit number 7 essentially indicates?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Josh, I don't have any other questions for you. I think Mr. Kadab will have a few now. Thank you.
Maybe hand me those 7 exhibits, please. Or 6 exhibits. Mr. Kadat, cross-examine.
So just a couple of clarifying questions, Mr. Bailey. Good morning. So you had testified that you were one of the first ones on the scene on April 20th. Is that right? Who was there before you?
I believe Chris was there.
No, as far as someone from ServPro, if you were one of the first ones to arrive.
It would have been my technicians, so water technicians.
And who were they?
They were, I believe, Shelby, and I cannot remember the second one that was on site.
Shelby and somebody else. So in your standard practice, do the initial technicians on site ask the customers for signatures on the contract? All right.
Yeah.
So in this case, you testified earlier that it was you that saw Chris to sign the contract, right?
Yes. Yep.
So what caused the variation in the standard practice as opposed to the first technicians arriving on the site having her sign it, but instead you did?
I was there when she was signing it. So our technicians have an iPad that we do all of our programming off of, that we run the software off of. And So I was there when they signed it with my technicians.
And so who inputted the data, the name and address into the contract?
It automatically gets submitted in through Farm Bureau. So we get an assignment sent through, and it gets put into our system, and it automatically puts in the name.
Can I see that?
All right, Mr. Bailey, I'm going to approach you with exhibit or proposed exhibit A. Do you recognize that?
I do. It is the thermostat to the Firebird electric heater.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of proposed exhibit A as exhibit A.
Any objection?
I don't have an objection.
A is admitted.
Is that the device, Mr. Bailey, that was left behind after May 30th?
Yes.
All right. I don't have any other further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
No,
Redirect?
No redirect. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bailey.
Thank you.
Stepping back, this case is a textbook example of how real-world emergencies collide with legal technicalities. ServPro documented its work, used licensed equipment, followed insurance protocols, and relied on signed authorizations that appeared valid at the time. The dispute doesn't center on what work was done, but who had the legal authority to approve it, and how long services truly extended. These cases matter because they set expectations for contractors, insurers, and homeowners alike. Emergencies don't pause for title searches, but courts still have to decide where responsibility ultimately lands.